Okay, we're going to do the video review for PowerPoint Chapter 3. And in this review, I've got two PowerPoints open. On the one on the left is the demo PowerPoint that I did with the video reviews. And the one on the right is the statements that you need to learn in order to fare well on your test. So the first review statement, a heading 1 in a source document and outline becomes a title slide. Well, first of all, let's take a look at our data files. And in PowerPoint Chapter 3, we have these outlines right here. Your heading 1 is actually the title of your document, and that is usually contained in the document. So when I selected this document, you see how this is highlighted as heading 1, so that will indicate that this will be the title of that PowerPoint when we insert slides from an outline. Okay, the next item. A rich text format is used to transfer formatted documents between applications. When we look at the data files again, rich text format deals with Word files. We're looking at PowerPoint Chapter 3. So when I look at the document type, you see it says rich text format. And when we have a Word document that we create in an outline, this document was saved by going to File, Save As. And in this spot right here, instead of Word document, which is normally the default for Word, this rich text format was chosen. And so that allows the transferability of this document to be opened in other word processing softwares such as Microsoft Word, such as Corel WordPerfect, WordStar, OpenOffice, Words processor, and so forth. So that rich text format allows you to open this document in other programs rather than just the Word program itself. So somebody who does not have Word on their computer, if you know that, your best bet is to save that as a rich text file. Okay, next one, number 3. The mouse pointer changes shape after clicking the text box button because it's ready to create the text box where you click. Well, if I go to Insert, Text Box, and you can see my mouse pointer change shapes because now I'm ready to click and put a text box in. Okay. The arrow keys on the keyboard will nudge an object in a direction the arrow key is selected. So let's go back to the home, and I'm going to click on the border of this object. And when I hit my arrow keys, it's going in the direction of the arrow keys that I am using. So top, bottom, left, and right, just to nudge it. Okay. Vector files in the Microsoft Clip Art Organizer have a WMF extension. Well, we find the Microsoft Clip Art Organizer under Insert Clip Arts. And these files in here are WMF extensions. So when we hover over these, we can actually see that some of these are WMF. However, you notice that some of these are not all WMF. Like there's a JPEG and there's a JPEG. Those files are ones that have been taken with some type of digital camera or video camera and changed into a picture graphic. Okay, Microsoft Clip Art images are automatically installed in the Office Collections group. They are not automatically installed. When you do the installation process to add Word, the software, to your computer, it will ask you if you want to install the Office Collections group. You can also find the Microsoft Clip Art images online at Microsoft's website. When you ungroup a clip art picture, PowerPoint breaks it into components. Now that all depends. Here I have a picture, And if I go to group or ungroup, I do not have that option. Again, this picture is a JPEG picture that was embedded, and it will not let me ungroup. However, if I go to ungroup a clip art image, right mouse click, group, ungroup, then yes, you can see it's been broken into components. You can find a text pane with SmartArt. In my 2 SmartArt examples, you can find that there is a text pane to be able to type your text. But keep in mind, some SmartArts have an option where they have a place to put pictures too. This one does not. The More button expands the choices in the SmartArt style group. I have a SmartArt selected right here. Here's my SmartArt style group, and this is your More button. Notice how the word More comes up. So as I point on it, it expands my choices that I have for this specific SmartArt. There are multiple fills on a shape. Let's go back to this slide right here. Right mouse click, and we're going to format shape. When we format shape, we have different fill options for this shape. There's a solid fill, a gradient fill, a picture fill, and a pattern fill. Those are the fill options that we have: solid, picture, gradient, or pattern. They are not solid, light, and dark. So we have some options here. The Textures Gallery contains 24 pictures that give appearances of a physical object. So again, here's my shape. If I go into shape effects, or I'm sorry, fill shape, and then textures, I can see that there are 26, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows and 4 columns. There are 26 texture patterns. So it's not 24, it should be 26. Okay, the reflection effect reverses letters below the text. So let's try that. We have semester highlighted, we have shape effects, and in here there's reflection, and if I choose one of these reflections, I should be able to get, yep, and you can kind of see that right here, a kind of water, sometimes like what we call a water reflection, where it's reversed below it. Next review. All word art does not have to have an outline. Let's try to insert a word art here. Here's our word art button. Here is the text. Now if I go to edit this word art, I can fill it. I can have no outline, so no, we don't have to have an outline, and I can give it an effect. The hierarchy smart chart layout creates an organizational chart. I'm going to add a new slide to this presentation so that we can see what a hierarchy smart art is. So here's my control for the smart arts. If I go to hierarchy, these are kind of like flow charts that we see in our options to pick. These are all type of organizational charts. An organizational chart could be like your chain of command. So if I'm a teacher, I might report to my principal, who then might report to the superintendent. It could be a telephone chart. The superintendent is going to call the principals, who will then call the teachers and let them know that school's called off because of snow. That is the function for a hierarchy chart. You do not need to select the smart art graphic first to type in the text. You do not need to select the smart art graphic first to type in the text. Let's go into this example. I'm clicking on the smart art graphic. I have selected it. I need to click on each one of these to type in text, or I can type in the text pane. Either way, I do have to select the Smart Art graphic. So please be aware of that question when you get it. Once an object's handle is selected, the arrow keys can move the object incrementally. Here is my beaker again, and if I select my handle, I can move my object, and it's more of the borders. Notice this border, okay? If you're on the object itself, sometimes you get a different border around it, so you need to really watch what your borders are telling you. Once a text box is inserted into a slide, it can be moved to various locations on that slide. Again, let's go to the very first slide in our presentation. Insert text box. I get that text box here, and I get this cross arrow, and now I can move it to any location on my slide. Text boxes can have a fill outline and or text effect. Let's try to type in this text box. And I'm going to select everything, go to Format. Here's my shape outline. So maybe I want to have a blue outline. Maybe let's try green. And the fill is there too. All right, number 20, a clip art picture is an object imported from the Microsoft Clip Organizer. That is true. You can only import your clip art pictures into the PowerPoint by the Microsoft Clip Organizer, or if you have another PowerPoint open, you can copy it and paste it into your PowerPoints, but usually you import it from the Clip Art or Microsoft Clip Organizer. Bitmap graphics are typically JPEGs, TIFFs, or PNGs. I put this cute little picture in here because this is a photograph picture. This was a JPEG. Your bitmap graphics cannot be broken apart. They cannot be ungrouped. They are bitmapped in pixels, and so each pixel is displaying a different color, a different shade of a color to get the picture to show, and they cannot be broken apart. Just said, cannot be ungrouped. Keyboard shortcuts can be used in text panes. Here's a text pane. I'm going to type a title on this pane, and if I use my Control B, I can bold it. If I use my Control I can italicize it. Control U, I can underline it. So you can use keyboard shortcuts to format your text in the text pane. You can set the speed of slide transitions. Now this slide does not have a transition in here, so I'm going to put a slide transition on this slide, and I can actually increase or decrease my speed. Transitions are for animating whole slides, while the animations are for animating objects. That is true. This shows me that there's a transition on the slide. However, if I go to the slide and I select my text box and go to animate, now I can animate that object. And your objects can be your smart art graphics, they can be clip art, they can be photographs, they can be the movies, they can be text boxes, and so forth. But animation deals with objects, while transition deals with slides. Okay, so that's your review. I would suggest you go to the e-class, review these statements that are in the e-class before taking your Quizstar exam, and you should do fairly well.